I think one of the stupidest angles and like kind of arcs or angles or gimmicks or whatever in pro wrestling is when another wrestler steals a champion's belt. You know, so you'll have a champion, you'll have somebody who is he's holding a belt, he's holding a title, you know, an actual belt, and somebody else, another wrestler, steals that belt. And then they fucking have this storyline where the guy is, you know, running away with the belt, and, you know, he's acting like he's the champion, and basically, it's stupid. It's retarded. It basically fools people and tricks people and makes fans, especially casual audiences who don't really know what's going on, but they see a guy with a belt, and they associate that belt with that particular wrestler, even though that guy's not the official fucking champion. I'll give you some examples. The earliest example I can think of was when I was growing up in the late 90s, and this was like late 97. This was before Stone Cold Steve Austin became WWF champion at WrestleMania 14. This was like late 1997, and this was like basically the I don't want to say the catalyst, but this was like the beginning of his actual run towards the heavyweight championship, the WWE championship. He was feuding with The Rock at the time, and he feuded with The Rock, and he was the Intercontinental Champion at the time. Now, what happened was he handed over the belt, the IC belt, the Intercontinental Championship, to The Rock. Okay, he just gave it to him. They didn't have a match, he just handed it to him, and he basically said, "I got bigger fish to fry," in reference to, you know, going after the World Heavyweight Championship. So right after, you know, the exact same moment, he hands him the fucking IC belt. The Rock is celebrating. The Rock is, his eyes are wide with surprise and glee, and he was like, "Oh my god, yeah, I'm the champion. Yes, yes, I got the belt." Fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know, he fucking beats the crap out of The Rock. I think he gave him a Stone Cold Stunner, and then he takes the Intercontinental belt, the IC Championship, which was now, it belonged to The Rock. The Rock was now the IC champion. Austin takes the belt, and then he fucking runs away with it. He walks away with it. So he basically stole The Rock's IC belt. And everybody was cheering. Now, when I saw this fucking moment, you know, when I was growing up as a kid, I saw this, I didn't really understand who the champion was then. I was like, so is The Rock still the champion or what? Or did Stone Cold is Stone Cold still the champion? Like, I didn't get it. I didn't understand the concept of somebody stealing a belt. All I knew was, as a kid, I saw the belt associated with Stone Cold. So I thought what Austin did was he tricked The Rock, and he kind of mocked and pretended to give The Rock the belt, but instead he actually tricked him, and then to kick his ass, alright? And to blindside him, and, you know, basically Austin was still the fucking champion, or so I thought. But in reality, it was actually The Rock. So it really confused me as a kid. But what that fucking angle did, what that particular moment did, that particular scene, what it did was, it made me and people like me who were watching it associate the IC Championship with Stone Cold Steve Austin, even though officially Stone Cold Steve Austin was not the Intercontinental Champion anymore. You know, it was actually The Rock, but the WWF slash WWE, the WWE wanted people, the audience, to see Stone Cold with this belt. They wanted the image to portray him looking like he's still a champion with this particular belt, like he's the, you know, the next guy. You know, he's like the next big thing, basically. All right, now, years and years later, they would rehash this particular belt-stealing fucking storyline, this belt-stealing angle where somebody steals a real champion's belt, and then he would run away with it, and he would mock and continuously, week after week, taunt the actual champion. "Hey, I got your belt, come and get it," and then he would run away and all that shit. They did this with Samoa Joe back in 2006. Now, Samoa Joe was supposed to be the next big thing, okay? He was the most over wrestler in 2006. He was huge, okay? He was like it was almost like seeing a Stone Cold reaction, like a Rock reaction, circa Attitude Era. It was like everybody wanted to see him as the world champion, the TNA NWA heavyweight champion. Now, at the time, in 2006, the champ was Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett was holding the NWA heavyweight champion. He was the actual champ. But everybody hated him. You know, he was a heel. Samoa Joe was kind of an anti-hero at this point. Initially, he was a heel. He was a badass guy who just beat the crap out of anybody who gets in his way. You know, this cold, heartless killer guy. But eventually people started liking him and cheering him, so he eventually became more of a badass anti-hero who just wanted to beat the crap out of people. So they had this angle where Samoa Joe, instead of making Samoa Joe the fucking champion, you know, they had, you know, they put him in matches against Jeff Jarrett for the championship. Of course, Samoa Joe never won. You know, thank you TNA fucking booking, amazing booking there, TNA. They fucking, instead, what they did was they made Samoa Joe steal, you know, Jeff Jarrett's belt, the NWA Heavyweight Championship. And what TNA wanted to do was, they were trying to associate Samoa Joe with the championship. They were trying to, I don't know, they were trying to please the crowd, us fans who are watching, and we wanted Samoa Joe to win and become the champion. Here's what they did wrong. They undermined our intelligence. They thought they could somehow appease us, the wrestling fans, into thinking that, well, at least Samoa Joe is holding the belt, even though technically he's not the champion. Fuck you, TNA. No, we wanted to see Samoa Joe as the official NWA Heavyweight Champion. We wanted to see him as the official TNA, you know, World Champion, okay? We don't want to see him just steal a fucking belt. That's a heelish tactic, you know, it just makes him seem like an ass for taking Jeff Jarrett's belt. Alright, so they kind of ruined that, you know, what could have been an amazing title run, a historic, fucking memorable title run by Samoa Joe in 2006. But they ruined it instead by making him steal Jeff Jarrett's belt. Okay, and he's running away with the belt, and he's mocking Jeff Jarrett, you know, week after week, and he's taunting him, and, you know, he's like, come and get me, and come and get your belt, blah, 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 blah. It was just ridiculous. It was just stupid, because there was no point to it. We all knew, okay, we were all smart marks. You know, most of us, we are intelligent enough to know that obviously Samoa Joe's not the champ, and he's just, you know, stealing this fucking belt. Alright? And what's even worse was, ironically, in 2008, after an overdue title reign with Samoa Joe, they finally, you know, TNA finally made Samoa Joe the world champion. But they ended up reusing the same gay ass stealing title fucking angle. You know, this time it's Booker T. Booker T comes in, steals Samoa Joe's TNA World Championship belt, which was fucking gay as hell. Okay, that was stupid. That was completely fucking pointless. The only reason they did that was because, you know, Booker T came in, he was the new guy, and he just freshly left the WWE, and he was one of the biggest stars in the WWE, a former world champion in WWE, coming in, just like, you know, a high-profile WWE guy like Christian or Kurt Angle. It was Booker T, alright? And people were like, oh wow, you know, maybe they'll make him champion or something, who knows? Instead, they made Booker T steal Samoa Joe's belt, which was extremely stupid. That was really retarded, because it just, you know, it just made Samoa Joe's reign look so lame and, like, empty. You know, well, first of all, the fans almost never cared about Samoa Joe at that point, because they loved him in 2006, but after, you know, a year and a half, you know, 2 years later, they make him finally the champion. The fans don't care anymore. The fans could care less. That's why he hardly got any reaction in 2008 as the world champion. And so they had fucking Booker T steal his belt, and people didn't even give a shit about that, because it's like, oh well, Booker T's not the fucking champ. Who cares, right? So it's just really stupid. Okay, it's fucking retarded. All right, it's confusing. It's stupid for another wrestler to steal a champion's belt. Okay, that angle is completely fucking retarded. I can understand maybe being in a short-term kind of thing, like maybe just, maybe just one night. Okay, a guy who wants to get the attention of the champion and he wants people to notice him, and maybe he could be a possible incredible future champion. In the fucking future, it'll be this incredibly over guy, but he ends up stealing the fucking belt just one night, and then later in that night, the same fucking night, for example, the champion gets the belt back. So I hate seeing a wrestler steal a belt and the company, the fucking, the booking and the storyline continues on and on and on for weeks and weeks and months, and it's stupid. Okay, it's pointless. Stealing somebody's belt doesn't make you a fucking champion. That's the fucking point. It sucks.